on the dance floor, do it, my girl. Aye. Move to the beat or do it again. Oh, I say you on the dance floor, do it, my girl. Oh, oh, oh. Move to the beat, do it again. Again, again, again. They got to rara. Hey. Bakari hove ushata. Hey. Pundaye. 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 Wache kanda kanda. Kanda kanda. Wache kanda kanda. Pundaye. Pundaye. What you want, what you gonna gana? What you got to gonna, what you gonna gana? Oko dog, munda, what you gana? You fool is now, what you gonna gana? Oko dog, munda, gonna gana. What you want, what you gonna gana? Oko dog, munda, you fool is now, why.
Rikana njova herero njo himbamboy punde rikana moro. What a beautiful morning.
Yeah, boy.
It is Tuesday, the 1st of February,
Yes.
2022.
We survived January. That is the important thing.
They say February is actually worse than January.
Why? It's only got 28 days.
Maar what happens is that you took all your money now to settle all your outstanding debts
Okay.
in January. Nou is je nog verder in jou move in February. I don't know if that is true, but I know I really had to settle a lot of stuff myself.
Yeah, me too.
I had to really double up on a lot of stuff that I couldn't get to in
Payments.
December. So it's nogal. It remains to be seen if it's true for me personally, me, myself, and I. I don't know about you guys.
I'm just cool with me surviving.
Ne?
Just surviving, even it's not Derby Lane. I'm just cool with surviving. So as long as I can just eat anything every day, just have petrol money, I'm cool.
Ne?
I'm cool.
Koffie? Koffie, kan je toch gaan skeren asseblief?
I'm going to grow my beard and wear black until COVID is over.
Gaan skeer.
Ek sal hier so sit soos 'n gorilla eendag. I've had enough. I will not shave
Neville,
until COVID is over.
so Kaufman, Neville, I have something to tell you guys. I have a date today. So I want to know what's that thing's name that you said I should try. The Aspen's
Mavutu.
wine.
What's it?
Aspen's wine thing. Whatever. What's that thing's name? I want to try.
Icebine.
Yeah, Icebine. I'll write it down. I'm gonna try it today.
Luister, ne? Please, ne, if you're gonna go on this date, ne, please, before you go on the date, say Icebine. Skryf het op jou mag, op die
Ja.
muur.
Ik zal dit hier afschrijven.
Ons sal vir jou WhatsApp laat.
Ja, WhatsApp me.
Dat jy nie vergeet nie.
Yeah, I'll take you guys through this date. Like, always, I stayed on the order. No, what was that name again?
Just don't say to your date, listen, I'll offer you my Icebine.
Ja.
Yeah, man.
Yes.
She will.
I'll tell you all about it tomorrow. Never. I'll tell you guys all about it tomorrow.
So you can afford to go on a new date before Valentine's Day.
Oh, the thing is, like, she's paying for it.
Oh, she's paying. So she's
Yeah.
taking you out for a
Yeah,
date.
she's taking me out for a date. Yeah.
Very nice.
Nee. Jane, you know how to work this.
Neville, you gotta know your financial standards.
Ja,
You must know your financial position as a man. Je moet een vrouwmens hebben wat 15e pay is. Die secretary van jou. Die ene wat die 20ste pay bij die bank. En de 23th trust kost de ene. En dan...
Jy moet dan jou pay ook nog kry.
Dan moet ik nog mee pay.
Ja, that's quite
no,
a nice
no, no.
So you
strategy.
settle.
No, you settle.
You're surviving that.
Yeah, no, you settle. Kalfi, the reason I'm getting into your beard is because I haven't shaved in 2 weeks.
Okay.
And for some reason, I just can't get to the barber shop.
Right.
No, I'm like, maybe I must just leave it.
But I'm going to be honest with you. It was a bit of laziness on my part.
Yes, me too.
Huh?
Me too.
Maar die vrouens sê, julle never dink of julle lyk so goed met julle baarde.
I don't understand. You know what? There are stuff that I will not try and understand. Okay, Mitch, play it now.
No, this topic, I don't join this topic.
Sorry, no.
Niggas ain't.
Play it. This is something I don't understand, Kalfi. Okay, and I have to understand I'm not a woman. Okay? But I've always liked myself clean shaven.
Yes.
I preferred myself that way. And my vrouw preferred myself that way. But when COVID hit 2 years ago, and when we went into that state of emergency, to 28th of March 2020, I tested this beard growing thing. And I grew my beard up to a point where to staan is so. And for the few times that I went out, I got a lot of compliments. Say, oh, that looks sexy. I'm like, what? It looks disgusting. That looks rough. That looks grof. Say, nee. We like it.
Yes.
I salt and pepper. That black, grayish. Salt and pepper.
There is salt and pepper.
Salt and pepper. So, yeah. So sometimes I like it. Like I've been wearing a beard now for some time, but sometimes I do like to completely shave it. So are you going to go shave now or not?
I'll take a decision at some stage.
So what's your decision, Mitch?
Why are you asking
Nee,
me?
ek vra net.
Again, why are you even asking me? I'll see what I can do in 2 months.
But you're sporting a goatee, which is cool.
Yeah, I really want to grow my beard, like for it to connect and everything. But they're struggle kids. They're not united. It's a problem. I've been trying to do it, Neville. Even my hair on my head only grows to a certain point, like as it's the limit.
Sê net jy raak bless. That's the problem.
Yeah.
Because I became bald more or less at your age.
Yeah.
I was about just over 30, and then I had a few bald spots on my head. So, and it's normal. That's the problem.
But the beard, Neville, being bald is not a problem. It's like, at least if you're bald, you should have that connecting beard. You know? Yeah. The ladies love that stuff.
Aha. Kom ons sê gou goeiemôre. Kandra Tlabanello, goeiemôre mense. Hey, Kantla, het jy nie respek vir jou eie taal nie? Huh? Dumela ra. Ja, praat Tswana. Wat 'n goeiemôre mense hierso. Marco Diergaard, good morning gentlemen. Matundenje Gapes, good morning MMC, new day, new month again. Denise Valentine, good morning. Have a splendid day. Just knocked off. I'm a snooze. Denise, what do you do? Are you a nurse? Or what do you do? Kandra Tlabanele. Woo,
She's a
Mitch.
Denise is a doctor.
We'll talk about that. Kalfi, don't believe anything in those comments.
Denise.
Like, I'm just telling you.
She's
don't
a doctor.
believe anything they say.
She's a leg specialist. She operates on the knees and then the ankles and then the hips.
Kalfi,
Dennis.
moenie die comments lees nie, asseblief.
Oh, Mitch, my vriend, hy maggetjie. Are you going to do something about the
Daar
market?
is niks fout met Mitch se mag nie. Dit is die pressure pomp vir die jackhammer. And he's going on an ice bind date. It's important.
They're just against me. I'll do something, Neville. I'll do something. And I think around like June,
Yeah.
yeah, I'll do something around that time.
Do what?
I'll start gymming. Like really.
No, why don't you just start
weightlifting.
gymming now?
Dat soos 'n
Nie
no.
lus nie.
Die hongerte.
Die hongerte.
Die struggle. Die struggle.
February is for us abnormal people born in this month. Oh, Denise, so you're also born in February. Masha, Mora, Kaufi, Neville en Stompie. Kaufi, dankie dat jy terug is. Nou kan mens weer die nuus geniet. Gister was 'n probleem. It was a complete disaster between
Don't
the two.
believe.
No.
Don't believe anything. Never why don't
What happened?
It was a complete disaster between him and me trying to read the news. Because certain people became so I don't know. They had nostalgia about your voice yesterday. And we felt offended that people were so nostalgic about.
I'm still offended about all those comments and stuff.
Yeah.
You know.
Mitch tried to read the first part of the news.
Okay.
Disaster.
Right.
And then I took over. Double disaster. So, Kaufi, you speak to the woman in your life and your friends, whoever they are.
Don't do that, Kaufi.
Those white German friends that you have. And you tell them from here on forward, you can't go on leave. Okay? You can only go on leave after 10 o'clock. So
you just gotta come in and read the news and then you can go.
Daar kan jy gaan.
Kaufi is not a friend that should send your wife a voice note. Did you just hear that? You are not sending a voice note. Like, don't send voice
So maybe
notes.
when I'm on leave, I record the news into WhatsApp and then I'll send it to you guys. Just play it.
Dankie.
See.
Good morning, gentlemen. Happy new month. Ricky Klaasen. Matuntenje, what is true? Stompie, kyk nou mooi hoe word die nuus gelees. Sê Stefanus, James en Aeneas, Masha en Mitch, jy nie eens skam om te sê sy vat jou uit nie. Wat is die probleem daarmee, Masha? Wat is die probleem? As die man away het die man away. Stompie, hy kan nie lees nie. Morning, you all. Thank goodness, Kaufi, you are back. The news yesterday was a dilemma. Mitch deserved to go into that digged bowl. Do you know the dick bowl?
No, we need to speak about the bowl issue.
We'll talk about the bowl.
We need to really
We'll
because,
talk,
yeah.
Namibia's got funny bowl syndrome.
Yeah. Bowl syndrome. Couldn't love grey beard is the in thing with women in now. With women in the now. Gentlemen, milk it to the max until it is no longer fashionable. Hey. Oh yes, Kaufi, Mora, Uncle Nevs and Stompie. Natalie Orange, beard is toch sexy op 'n man. Neville, just leave the grey beard. Jerry J. Sal. Lekker. Ja. Kandra, ja, Duvelara. Wareng, Dasi, jy sal regkom. Kialebog. Roviera, Mora, Kaufi, we appreciate you.
Thank you.
Sorry for telling you to chip every morning. You are not chipping ever. Yo, dankie. So coffee is like the ozone layer. You don't miss it until it's gone.
Yeah.
No, man.
Denise Valentine, yes, Neville nurse. Oh, you're a nurse. Okay, my mother was a nurse. Morning to coffee only.
Dankie.
Roviera, we really miss him. Coffee, never leave us with these two. Watse, don't believe. Kaufi gaan luister net hoe Mitch gelees het. Hak, sonder asem.
I'm gonna look at it the moment I leave the studio.
Nee, Kaufi.
Don't do it, Kaufi. Don't do it. Don't believe these people.
Let's make a TikTok video.
Des van Wyk, morning favorite gents. Let's talk about the education director in Irongo saying schools are full and we need to send kids of grade 1 to boarding school.
Wow.
I'm really upset with her remarks. The GRN must build schools, not beat around the bush. Masha, asseblief, we need to speak about the ETT. We did touch a little bit on the ETT, Masha, maar ons sal hom net so bietjie vorentoe vat vandag. There are a lot of things that we need to discuss today, but let's first have the news. Mitch, luister. Kom ek en jy chip uit. Kom ons gaan drink koffie. As hierdie Duitser klaar is, dan kom ons terug. Nee?
Van ons is hier nodig.
As is nie nodig nie.
Play op jou eie Kaufman.
This is Informanté Live, and these are our top stories. The Namibian police have apprehended a 26-year-old man who allegedly set his grandmother's house in Imbo village in the Oshikangu region on fire while she was sleeping inside. According to the Weekend Crime Bulletin, the incident happened on Saturday at around midnight. It is alleged that the suspect set his 69-year-old grandmother's sleeping room on fire after an argument. The room and its content burned completely, but the elderly woman miraculously escaped with minor injuries. The fire spread and also burnt the nearby Mahangu field. A head-on collision between a police vehicle attached to the VIP Directorate and a Range Rover occurred on Friday at about 8:30 at night, causing the death of a man. According to the police, the accident happened at the Ongenga settlement in the Oangwena region. It is suspected that the accident occurred as the Range Rover turned right and collided with a police vehicle that was driving straight. Shortly after the collision, a Toyota Hilux crashed into the wreckage of the Range Rover, which was still on the road at the time. And finally, a 17-year-old boy is expected to make his first court appearance after he allegedly raped a 7-year-old girl. The incident occurred at around 1700 hours at the Okaluva village in the Omontele area of the Oshikatu region last Thursday. According to Regional Commander Commissioner Armas Shivute, the victim and suspect were in the sleeping room of the victim when the suspect ordered the victim to undress and raped her. Both the victim and suspect stay at the same house, but the two are not related, he said. Your Trustco share price today, the 1st of February, is at $1.15 per share. Taking a brief look at the financial indicators, the Namibia dollar is trading against the US dollar at 15 Namibia dollars and 50 cents, and against the euro at 17 Namibia dollars and 40 cents, and against the British pound at 20 Namibia dollars and 90 cents. This is Informanté Live, and these were our top stories. You can find more on our website, which is informante.web.na. Where's the jingle? You need to press the jingle button.
Ons vra as jy klaar.
Ek is klaar. Ja, ja. Kyk al die mooi comments, hoe kom hulle?
Nee, ons stel nie
Yes,
die
jy kyk daar
comments. We
so.
will not read these comments.
Ja.
Frala, are you entertained? Are you entertained?
News is informative and important.
Thank you, Kofi.
You're welcome. Hey?
Kaufman.
Oh, I did not have my earphones on. So I'm
Wow. Fascinating.
Kofi, thank you so much for reading the news
Does
properly.
it-
And nobody's allowed to say anything about us.
Ja, shut up. Shut up. Ja. Ons sal hierdie stream stop. Gaan net aan. Kofi, so your trip this weekend, where did you guys go?
Oh, we went there to a farm nearby Dordabus.
Nee.
Yeah, and just a couple of friends and set up. But the weather was really great.
Nee.
Yeah, it's very nice.
It rained a lot, ne?
Yeah, well, not like to the degree that it became unbearable, but it kept it all nice and wet and cool for basically the entire weekend, which was great.
Kom ons praat bietjie oor daai. Kom ons praat bietjie oor die weer. I mean, we just had some exquisite weather the last 24 hours.
You are absolutely right, and I've got some extensive weather reporting to do here today because I think everybody's interested in where did it rain, how much.
Yeah.
So the Informanté is reporting that good rains that started over the weekend are continuing, and at the moment are predicted not to stop. Heavy rainfall was reported from the northern, central, and southeast areas of Namibia. Readers from various regions shared their photos and also videos of streams and downpours. Then Combat in the Ochizunjupa region received 100 millimeters on Sunday.
Excuse me?
100 millimeters on Sunday, with rain still falling on Monday morning, yesterday. Rundu in Kavango East was equally lucky, with Gondwana Collection Namibia's Hakusemba River Lodge receiving 15.4 millimeters. Then Tsumeb. Big round of applause. Tsumeb in the Oshikoto region reported 70 millimeters yesterday.
Net,
In Tsumeb, yeah.
Kaufi, ek sê vir jou nee, just to touch on Tsumeb again, I think I probably told you guys this a little bit earlier in the year on the show. My kids are and my kids and their mother, who will remain nameless, okay?
Yeah.
They are very hard to please when it comes to Ngahuta. I think over the years I really had to really dig deep to really show my family Ngahuta. Tsumeb is a town that my kids, I mean, we've all these years, if we would drive up north or whatever, we would always just pass Tsumeb. And they were smaller, so they didn't really appreciate Tsumeb. But this time around in December, when we were in Tsumeb, what they've seen, the greenery of the town of Tsumeb was just, and we were there at Kuperkwela.
Yes.
We were having lunch there, and they just soaked up the atmosphere as we drove from Tsumeb to Otavi. I mean, those kronkelpatte and wat ook al. It was beautiful. And I mean, even if my daughter, who's just 12, 13 years old, to say that, Daddy, this is a beautiful town. So,
Tsumeb
so
is
70 millimeters.
70 millimeters in Tsumeb.
yeah.
And then listen to this. According to reports on social media platforms, such as Rain Namibia, which is a social media platform, up to 170 millimeters fell within 24 hours at Grootfontein.
Hoeveel?
170.
Oh,
While Otavi received 80 millimeters. So Tsumeb
So
with
I
70,
really-
Otavi with 80, and Grootfontein with 170.
So hy milie driehoek.
It's not.
and just the road to Grootfontein also, like Grootfontein, it's also very beautiful.
Mitch
It's very beautiful.
van Otavi af to Grootfontein.
Oh,
Those mountainous areas. It is, it's beautiful.
there's like this turn in between the mountains, like that.
Yes.
Like this turn. Oh, ek hou van dit.
And I hate it when my kids, and unfortunately, this is when we as Namibians, when our patriotism sometimes leave us and it goes through the door. When people say, when we drive that Tsumeb Pass, of ons praat van daai Otavi na Grootfontein toe, when people say, "Ooh, die lyk net so mooi soos Suid-Afrika." Ek say,
Hey,
this is not South Africa. This is Namibia.
it's onze Namibia.
It's ons land hierdie. Don't come and compare us with South Africa.
Tsumeb can be beautiful, but it comes second to Chess. You guys know what happened at Chess? And speaking about the weather, like we in our culture have this bygeloof,
Yeah.
whereby if it rains too much, so all the Magdaisa artists were in Chess.
Yeah, this past weekend.
Yeah. So
Disaster.
it was raining, and these people did our bygeloof. They took an axe and then hit it into the ground.
They
And
what? Oh, an axe.
Yeah.
Uh-huh.
And then it just like hit it into the ground, and they leave it there, and we believe that the rain will stop. And the Magdaisa artists did that so they can do their performances. So if it rains too much and we
is-
have a Magdaisa artist show, just know.
It is blasphemous
Yes.
for anybody in this country
To stop the rain.
To stop the rain. Het julle na maar sien maniere nie.
It's a loss on.
Don't
Chess
you guys,
was beautiful.
but don't you guys rather just go and take these bowls and then you write something in there? And
The rain, the storm, the sun.
yes. Maybe somebody you don't like.
Oh my
Okay, but we've got
goodness.
to just also report on the east and also the south of the country.
Asseblief,
Because,
asseblief.
so the east, Gobabas received up to 50 millimeters of rain, and then east of Kois, up to 65 millimeters fell on Saturday night. Northwest of Marintal was 50 millimeters, and that was also reported on Sunday night. So everybody got their fair share of rain.
And you know, just to add to what we're discussing here, I mean, Vedika Here says Namibia is so beautiful, man. So much contrast and all of it so beautiful. My brother-in-law, he was traveling up to, in December when we were at the Etosha side, soaking up the beauty of that side of our country. Him and his wife and kids went to Kavango, Katima area. And he came back and said, Swar, I never knew Namibia is so beautiful in the northeast of our country. And as we keep on saying,
Now,
I mean, Namibia is just
Neville,
beautiful.
December you took your family to Etosha, no?
Yeah.
Okay, and if I remember correctly, it was just before the rains that you guys went there. Or did it rain?
We had a little bit of rain, but yeah.
For those listeners and viewers out there who ever plan wanting to go to Etosha or have been to Etosha, you get two different types of Etosha.
Yeah.
One is your very dry Etosha, where all the animals come to the waterholes.
Yes.
So you'll be able to see the big
Yeah.
elephants and the
Yeah.
lions and all that at the waterholes.
June, July.
Yeah.
But now in times like this, especially now when there's so much water that has fallen, especially if that water falls in Angola, because then it runs from Angola over through Ovambuland and,
Oshikango then.
and basically into the Etosha Pans. And then there's so much water that you actually don't see these big animals
No, you
anymore
don't
because they're
see
in the veld. They've got enough water there. Why would they walk
need
to a...
nothing from you?
However, then especially in the Namatoni region, the bird life and that salt pan is unbelievable. I mean, then you see flamingos, pelicans. You know, the bird life is absolutely amazing. So you get a dry Etosha and then you get a wet Etosha. And I can't really tell you which one I like most.
Yeah.
Because both are stunning.
Contrasting,
That's it.
beautiful Namibia. And that's what we're
Ek sal
talking
eers
about.
stem sing nou. Julle albei sing bas.
We are baritone,
Barrett.
not bass.
Baritone. Neville, I don't know if I'm pronouncing the site's name right. Nkurinkuru, ne?
Yeah,
Nkurinkuru. So there is like from Nkurinkuru, there is a road that just has like these big tall trees, and it's going into Oshikango.
Yeah,
Like
ne?
if you drive from the east, ne? To into Wambuland, you should drive that road this time
Ne?
while it's raining like this, and you'll also see the beauty there. It's like, on one of my tours, I actually took that road. It was so beautiful.
Katima must just fix their swimming pools,
Yeah.
also known as potholes in the roads. Those pools drown 4x4 buckets. This is what Butumba says. DCA Maruru says they were supposed to write rain in the Calabash Bowl. Jelefant says, Kennedy Ngamwe says, proud to hear Grootfontein got the most rain. It is currently still wet up here. Awe Ochivanda.
Say
Butumba
Grootfontein.
says, it's because our country is predominantly dry and boom, you find a green and hilly area that looks like the Cape. The Kavango and Zambezi region is like Durban minus the mountains. Yeah, very much, eh? Mora Yella say, Ethel, the Lord really took its time and made sure to show off with Namibia, man. Guys, my country is beautiful. Natalie, that is so true. Ethel, yeah, we don't need your negativity here on the show this morning. Jy kan net stil bly. Mohau says, on my way to work, I could not help but get lost mentally. Mentally
mean by
about
that?
what? Good morning,
I think the
Kaufi.
mist.
Oh,
Overwinter,
right, yes,
yeah.
yes.
Good morning, Kaufi met die swart hemp.
That's hy.
Life was dull on the show yesterday. I hope you and the family are well. Ek is ook baie okay, but can be better if of course. Hey. Ja, is net Kaufi wat gedeem word op hierdie show.
Bra, en
Ons word nie gedeem op
They have
hierdie show.
no chill. They say it in the comment section.
Net so.
Net so.
Purukutu. Huh? Raymond Basson saw it this morning. Mist is so beautiful. As Tumeb woke up from its copper sleep. Yeah, guys, you should go out and check out the mist-covered Windhoek. Raymond, you know, as I drove from home this morning, it is beautiful to see it. Yeah, we need to find a way to harvest the water, honestly. Mary Aziz says, we are very interested, Kaufi. Talk to us. He's back, the heart and brain whisperer. Love your... such comments. Raymond Basson, is it with these young guys in the north abusing, killing and raping old people that cannot defend themselves? sick and sad.
I know. It's terrible
Yeah.
what's
It's
going on
terrible.
currently.
Yeah, we'll talk
Very.
about that also.
Wow.
But that is how it is done. That is how what is done. Huh? Natalie, Ganji.
Say, praat misschien van the way we walked out.
Yes.
Maybe like.
Yes.
Because it was in fashion.
No.
Yes.
We walked out in fashion here, man.
Gazi.
Yebo.
Yes.
Yebo Kaufman. We have somebody at least agreeing with us.
Yeah.
I don't think so.
Kalfie, gee vir ons 'n bietjie die minimum and maximums.
All right, minimum maximums. Okay, just a warning from the meteorological department. Warning: flash floods are expected in most regions over Namibia, except in the extreme west and northwest. So if you are traveling through Namibia, especially on the gravel roads, do take care, because we know that we've got these overflowing rivers and all that kind of stuff. Monique can't vat nie.
Yeah.
Okay, then maximum temperatures for today. Let me just start this. In Marienthal, it was rained 50 millimeters.
50.
Yeah, over the weekend.
Ek
Marienthal,
het amper gedink 15.
Yo.
50.
Of 50.
So Marienthal is exceptionally wet, but it's also got the highest temperature for the day at 39. So daai plek gaan bedompig raak, because the sun is going to pull all the water out of the ground again.
Yeah.
Okay, but in Windhoek today, 30 degrees maximum. Then in Walvis Bay, 26. Swakopmund also with 26. Katima Mulilo, 23, with Rundu at 30, going over to Oshakati, 33, Ochinene, 32, Ochivarongo, 32, Rehoboth, 31, Marienthal, we mentioned, at 39, Keetmanshoop at 35. Then in Karasburg today, 33, and then in Gobabis, 34, with Beitepos also 34. And those are your maximum temperatures across the regions of Namibia.
Gee gou vir ons 'n bietjie die coronavirus update.
Coronavirus cases. Okay, so the active cases currently are 8,147. So maybe we'll have some good news tomorrow. Maybe we can go under the 8,000 mark by tomorrow. Newly confirmed cases was 59, with recoveries at 99. So we are bringing down the numbers slowly but surely. And deaths at 0. No deaths. So ten minste is dit 'n bietjie goeie nuus.
That's really, really good to hear. Kalfie, thank you very much.
Dankie.
Hoor kom maar vir Esto, Mitch. Mitch and Neville, what have your voices done for the nation? Cheer. Rovera says, julle wil net kinders maak. Weather, what? Topic of the day, Owens. Yeah, Ro, we got a few things that we would like to talk about today. And then I would like to start off with a story that is rather sad. Obviously a story that hails from the town of Swakopmund, where a wife and a husband decided to allegedly take their own lives because the husband seemed to have been terminally ill. I'll just give you guys a little bit of background. A husband and wife who committed suicide in the Swakopmund home on Sunday allegedly did it to put an end to the terminal illness he suffered from, while she allegedly did it because she loved him
So much.
so much to be without him. This was reportedly what was written, amongst other things, in a suicide note left at the scene and on Monday read by the wife's colleague before it became part of the evidence confiscated by the police forensics official. Just to, as we say, I mean, she left a note to the colleague, and some of the stuff that was said is, according to the colleague, she was called by the wife's friend from South Africa on Sunday to ask if she had received an email the victim allegedly told the friend she would send to her. She phoned on Sunday to ask if I have the email, but I said for me to access the email, I would need to get onto her computer, which was at their home. The friend then told me not to go there, which made me suspicious. I asked why, and then she said that if I go, I should take the police with me. There was a note at the entrance of the house in Swakopmund that said, do not come into our bedroom. Call the paramedics. According to the report, the husband suffered of a blood condition, and he did not have much time left, and she loved him too much to be without him. That was apparently the reason why this tragedy happened. Top investigator Niels Becker and national forensics expert Paul Ludig were amongst the officials at the house in Goshok Street in Swakopmund, Vogelstrand suburb, where the deceased was still in their bed, where they died after allegedly drinking something. They also euthanized their pets. So, kind of a sad story.
Look, I mean, we've had suicides in Namibia before, but this story really, when I got back from being out in the bush yesterday morning, really kind of grabbed me a little bit, Neville. And, we don't typically have, first of all, coupled suicides or group suicides. We don't see that in Namibia on that level. So this is actually a very, very sad story.
It's sad.
And to all of you out there, I'd like to just send this message. There is help out there.
Yeah.
And it's difficult when it comes to being depressed that you don't see that there's any assistance. We've got, I think, the Ministry of Environment, Health and Social Services. I think they've got a suicide line. We've got Lifeline Namibia. It's so difficult to talk about all of this.
But it's important.
But, is it really the answer?
It's an important conversation to have.
Yes. And if the bottom line of this suicide is truly a health condition, that makes it just so difficult. It's such a sad and sorry story.
And my angle is just a bit different, and I really agree with Kofi with everything he said. So it's like this just shows how much of an impact being with somebody for a long time you might have on this person. And this person might be so dependent on you emotionally, physically, and everything that they would not want to see a life without you.
Yeah.
And we should know this. We should know this as men. We should know this as women, that how we treat people in the relationship, how we motivate each other in relationships and all that. That this might have this impact on this person, that this person can be like, I don't see myself living without
you.
Mitch, also, I think it also comes with age. As people get older and they become sick, with that hand in hand, also goes the regular income. Over and above that, you've got all these medical expenses that you might have. You are probably unable to work. You just don't have the energy to go and fetch that money, which is so difficult to work for in Namibia, that you ultimately, over and above that, you are, let's say, incredibly ill. You are becoming incredibly poor. And, that becomes then difficult. The question that we have, can we in those instances perhaps reach out to our religious institutions and ask them for assistance?
I was watching a stand-up comedy routine on Netflix the other night. I can't remember the comedian's name. Now, comedians or entertainers have their own dark side. A lot of times people think if you're an entertainer, you are happy all the time. They never understand that we have a dark side where we also go and sit in a little corner and deal with issues that the general public don't comprehend that we're dealing with.
Yeah, because also as a comedian, everybody that knows you and meets up with you expects a type of funny conversation.
Always.
So nobody might think, and I'm just using you as an example, Neville, if I may. Nobody thinks that, hang on a moment, Neville might have a bad day today. So let me, I don't know about you, Mitch. Let's look at Robin Williams. Robin Williams, he was probably one of the best comedian actors I've ever seen in my life. And he also...
We just lost him like that too.
So this guy tells a story on stage, what I watched the other night, of he Googled how to kill myself. This is what he Googled. And Google immediately took him to a Lifeline site.
Wow.
And this is what he said on stage. Google will never give you ideas how to kill myself. So I tried this myself. I Googled how to kill myself. Google immediately took me to Lifeline, Childline.
Okay, can I try something?
Please.
Okay, but now you guys need to just keep quiet for a second.
Yeah.
Hey, Google. How do I kill myself?
I found this on the web.
Lifeline, Childline, Namibia.
There you go.
Yep. That's
There you go.
something. That's a good.
I
initiative
saw
from
that
Brian.
the other night and I was like, wow, that is commendable.
Hey?
Commendable that you have Google or social media being so responsible.
Yeah. If
That-
I
that
ask,
they
if I
lead
were
you-
to ask Google how not to read the news, do you think they'll take me to Mitch's Facebook page?
No,
Weet je, Duitser? Ja, jy is net useless.
Kafu, we wanted to like dive deep into this now.
No, we can.
Mousyball
Just get it back on track.
sê, cheese. Like, Koffie, you sound net soos die mense wat Jesus speel in movies. Can you guys just imagine the despair to come to the conclusion to end your life? Very carrière. Raymond Passon, very sad. Yeah, baie sad, ouens. True definition of till death do us part. May they rest peacefully. That's what Natangwe says. Mohau. Yeah. Isn't this the meaning of true love? Is she did the ultimate sacrifice? This is what Mutumba says. Rose says true love is real. She sacrificed her life because of her partner. Maar vandag, ek het geweet dat as dit by rou kom, nee, there's always an angle.
Yeah.
Maar vandag se Eva's dokters sal jou doodmaak as wat hulle saamgooi. Heer, weet jy. She must have been desperate. Nursing a loved one can be hard. I think she was depressed too. Not easy. It is true, Neville. Lifeline, Childline, Namibia. The school. Dis wat Masha sê. As jy wil dood net, jy het alleen op die aarde gekom. Ooh.
Maar sy nie 'n ma betrokke nie.
Gaan alleen dood. Net alleen. Ooh, julle nee. I feel critical ill patients should be exonerated from paying medical bills, especially if they pass away from the illness. This is what Mutumba says. Yeah, in the ideal world, if we have a top class health system in our country.
Yeah.
Alvain says, it gives total different results when searching how to kill Neville Pass.
Yeah,
No,
but
man.
really, it will give you different results. But look, what I
Hey,
think,
alas, hey, line G.
what I think most of our audience don't understand is like Kafi was trying to explain here. When you get to a certain age group, like when you're 90, your partner is 90. When you're 60, 70 above, and your partner is, you know already there's nowhere else. Like there's no, how do you even improve your life from there?
Yes.
So
The-
it's I think it's the first thing they start thinking. Exal sama jodoh. Even our grandmothers and grandfathers, they used to say that. Ek dood tot die dood is ons saam. Exal sama jodoh. Dis so en begrawe my langs my vrou.
Yeah.
You know
I've
those
seen-
words. Yeah.
I've seen couples last year who died of the one partner dies of COVID. And then 6 months later, and especially when they are in that advanced
Yeah.
age, 6 maande later gooi die ander ene ook saam.
Like a day later, even I saw a day later one just followed.
Yeah.
The thing is also there are a whole couple of angles to this. For example, let's say people who get married in church, you know, they get married under the roof of God, you know, so, and they had said, you know, marry until
They have to do us apart.
death do us part. Okay. But then let's talk about suicide. from a practical point of view, also from a lawful point of view, suicide is actually murder. Okay.
Yeah.
Sure. You're not there anymore to stand the full wrath
Extent
of the law.
The law, yeah.
But it's actually murder. And if you want to go back to the religious part of it, I mean,
It's
those
wrong.
10 commandments, there's one specific one that says, thou shalt not kill,
I
especially yourself. But, it's such a difficult world out there. It's so complicated. So let's bring in the aspect of euthanasia into this.
euthanasia.
So in Belgium and in Holland, if you do not see a purpose for your life anymore, let's say you've got terminal cancer, you are not living a life of quality anymore, you can go to these places and they'll prepare you. And they say, okay, tomorrow morning at 10 o'clock this will happen. And they give you basically a cup of poison. And they also say to you, if you drink this, you will die. And I happened to see one documentary where the one gentleman, he couldn't walk, he couldn't move anymore. He was completely paralyzed. The only thing that he could do is blink. So they said, blink once for yes and once for no. So he made one blink, and they reconfirmed it, and they gave him the poison, and then gave him a piece of chocolate just to... And then it actually goes quite quickly.
Yeah. And you see, the world that we live in.
Weet jy nee.
The world that we live in.
Sometimes nee. And Kofi, you're telling this moving story about the euthanasia.
Yes.
And I've seen a few of those documentaries, and then sometimes it's important that whenever we are in the studio and when we engage each other on a topic, next time I'll focus on you and not even remotely look at the comments.
Yes. I
Want
mean,
weet jy, Here, ek wil net sê nee, ek kyk hier vir rou tot die dood. Matilda sê tot die geld klaar is.
Yeah. I know.
Wie is Matilda?
I mean, there are easier ways to kill yourself. Just watch Arsenal play football and then you die anyway.
Yeah.
I mean,
Me nee.
Ja.
Me is dead. Me dead. Ja, like a Jamaica say me dead. Kom ek lees gou 'n paar comments ouens. Yeah, Raymond, that's exactly what we're talking about. Coffee suicide in Namibia just is really a big problem after independence. What do you think happened that people got so hopeless to take their own lives? Ons sal net so 'n bietjie daaroor praat. I hope they gave their lives to God in those last minutes. Salvation is very important. Moao says, but all I want to know, did the pets deserve to die too? Because the report said couple committed suicide with their pets. Was that pet part necessary?
Yeah.
Tot die Virginie. Masha, they might not have to leave the pets alone. Most probably worried who would take care of the pets. Masha, thank you for coming back with that response. Ne, want wie ne, hierdie mohau ne.
Die mense.
Ek het amper nog gelag. Yeah, but yeah, mental health is it's quite a challenge. Neville, did the husband die and she killed herself, or she took both their lives? Just want to be sure. Estimate, I think what the report says is that they allegedly drank something, a concoction of one.
yeah, that hasn't been substantiated yet.
Yeah, it's
but
not.
we'll
been-
get that info.
Yeah. Moa says, Eto, as jy mos moeg is en Jesus sê ook dis jou tyd. Vir wat moet ek my
Never, let me just say something important before we...
wag gou. As my Mavutu besluit ons
Oh my God, man. Oh my God, man.
Mitch, ek dink jy moet praat. Ek dink ek kan meer sommige mense se comments lees.
One of the things also, Calvin Neville, is we don't hear anything of them having kids. Ne? I don't.
Wait a
that's-
minute. I'm not
Did they have
sure.
kids?
I'm not sure.
No, the newspapers have only reported that there was a friend somehow.
Yeah.
So look, what if this terminal disease prevented them from having kids even? And this lady literally had nothing else to live for. So this all could add up to that depression and make that choice easier for her. You know, I know if there were kids, that's why they probably also just took the pets together. Like
We don't have their ages, do we?
yeah, we don't.
No, we don't
Not
have
yet.
the ages.
Yeah.
Yeah. I think once. Whoa. I think there's something. I don't want to read the whole report here because I don't. Yeah. But I think. No, they're just talking about immediate family. They don't want to release the names because they first need to inform the immediate family, but they're not mentioning whether they have kids or not. So yeah.
Franco Jose, the will wasn't favorable for towards the widow. Those people.
Woo! Weet jy, sulke mense.
We can't even
Sulke
have a
mense.
serious talk here on this show.
Sulke mense. So yeah, I think in closing on this topic, I have to say for myself, the saying of young and dumb. Young and dumb was very much attributed to me. I remember as a young man in my 20s when I heard of someone who committed suicide, I would think it's a joke. Or you're a damn coward.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Kyk, hy moeg God homself doodgeskiet. Hy moeg God pille gedrink. And especially we would make fun of a guy in our neighborhood who tried to commit suicide and failed. You are the butt of jokes in society. It's a bunga. Ons hoor jy het jouself probeer doodmaak.
Yeah.
And not understanding.
Look, die boere sê mos, as jy selfmoord pleeg, dit is die daad van 'n lafaard
There you
met die
go.
moed van 'n held.
That's a nice thing.
It's
That's a
the
nice thing.
deed of a fool with the courage of a hero.
Or the deed of a coward. Actually,
With
if
the
you
courage, yeah.
if you have to translate it directly into English. So it's the deed of a coward with the courage of a hero. Sure.
Imagine jumping off a building.
You must you just making that decision.
Yes.
Yo, just standing
Talking
there.
about that, jumping off a building. I understand 2 days ago, I think a former Miss Universe or former Miss
Yes, I've
USA.
also heard a story like
She's a young, beautiful 30-year-old girl
Yeah.
who jumped off a building. She committed suicide. In
The
the United
complex
States.
lives of the rich and the beautiful.
That's
By
the
a
thing.
complicated.
And then we think that things we acquired during our lifetime, the materialistic stuff that we have, is gonna make us happy and
There you
complete,
go.
and just throw away our mental health like that, because now I have a big mansion. I have 2 billion. You see a lot of these people taking their lives more than this. What do you say? Ek het amper gesê, like gewone mense. So I just feel like there is more to this stuff than just having a standard in life that you think is going to be okay for your mental health and all that. So there is more to this stuff.
You see,
Marshall,
somebody asked me the other day, Hannes, are you scared of death? And I've got to be honest with you, I'm not scared of death, but I am scared of dying.
Yeah.
Yeah, that whole process.
No, so, yeah.
I'm like, phew. I think the older I get, the more I find solace in my own being as to the inevitable. The moment I think of death, the first person I think about when my fear of death kicks in, I do think about my wife. And then I think about my daughter. And then I think about my sons. So, and it happens to whenever I feel threatened in any way in my life. When I feel not okay about certain things in my personal life, which happens to many of us, I first think about my wife and my daughter. They are my first line of defense. And my sons know this. They know it. And they accepted that. They say, no, Daddy, you as a man, you always say you first want to take care of mommy and Ayanda. And that's just how I'm just I'm just
Just
wired like
programmed,
that.
yeah.
I'm just programmed. Let me just quickly read some of the last comments on this specific
we go.
topics. Guys, we got some other stuff to discuss. Estomich says, I personally will never commit suicide, especially jumping off tall buildings. My fear of heights wouldn't allow me. Estomich, I don't believe the idea of committing suicide is something that would look glamorous. It's always not a good thing, whether you sit with a pistol in your hand or whatever.
Yeah.
The most important fact to know is that suicidal tendencies or suicide builds up, then acted on at the spur of the moment. Hence the need to fully socialize with our loved ones in order to pick up worrying traits that are out of character. That's how we can honestly help. What's going on with celebrities? And look now at Mason Greenwood. Ja, okay. Hy man is net 'n mogo, finish and klaar. Muhausi Bollies, exactly. What happened with my brother? I had to spend last Christmas burying him. This is what Maria Aziz says. Kofi, it's cowardly but takes massive strength to finally do it, because it's never just the first attempt. It's being successful after numerous tries. The bullies played a role in her death, but she was depressed. Tragic. Estimate you're probably talking about Miss USA, eh? Suicide and depression isn't well understood. They'll make you the punchline to every joke. Sick. That is true. Just imagining the courage you must have to do that, gents. Grief plays out differently in different people. Imagine if the two were high school sweethearts. Mutumba says. Mohau says, I don't want to be misunderstood, and I am not against people who commit suicide. Mental illness is real, but I feel someone who commits suicide is selfish, because now we as loved ones are left with so many questions that sometimes lead to a cycle of suicidal family members. Many times I've heard the saying, it's better to go than to stay, because it is the loved ones who stays behind who feels the more pain. Yeah, guys, thank you for your comments on that specific topic. We sincerely hope that the Lifeline Childline, I know Franco Jose said Lifeline Childline is useless. That's what he said in a previous comment. Maar let's hear
Some more initiatives.
if you need help, please, before you think of the worst thing you do, please talk to someone, talk to a close friend, and try and deal with your issues, especially financial issues.
Yeah.
If it's not ill health, financial issues can really drive people up against the wall. Talking about finances, and I will quickly read this article, okay? And I don't want you or you to engage me. I'm just reading this because apparently it's newsworthy.
Right.
Because people are confronting me and my party constantly as to when the SWAPO head office building will be finished. It's none of your business what we are doing with the SWAPO head office. But I will anyway read, for the sake of news. Although SWAPO's new headquarters worth 730 million Namibian dollars appears to be nearing completion, the ruling party yesterday said it does not have a completion date. Construction work by Chinese company Unique Construction Engineering commenced in June 2019. SWAPO Executive Director Austin Samupwa yesterday said the finalization of the building will be communicated once the time is right. Okay?
Okay.
For now, we are just building.
Okay.
Het julle probleem daarmee?
You guys can do whatever it is that you want.
I thank you.
Because we've seen what it is that you managed to get right after 30 years.
Namibian. No.
Worries.
You guys will get right
Such
anything you
nonsense.
want to get
Yes.
right. Anything you want to get, you guys would even build that thing for 10 more years.
Your biggest success is failure.
As a belief.
Gat dop. Die klas.
Never.
This year before the election, we will make sure that we run a pipeline, a water pipeline from the Kavango River to
Yeah.
the residents,
Okay.
so that people cannot go to the river anymore. Sickening that after 30 years of independence,
This.
you have a situation where a 5-year-old girl gets grabbed by a crocodile.
Loko mo hopo mo kroko nostor.
Because after 30 years of independence, we still don't have proper water facilities that help poor communities. Normal infrastructure.
Yeah. And then we have situations that young girls going out there to go fetch water gets raped in the way, we have those situations, and these people are still drinking from bowls, and we don't make this, or we don't put down serious concerns about these stories, but it keeps happening there in the north and the northeast.
Absolutely.
It keeps happening.
Happening all the time.
I mean, if we had a Namibian young entrepreneur building that thing, he was going to be told, you must give us a commencing date and a due date of when you're going to finish it. But because it's a Chinese company, we are not going to be told a due date.
Yeah. Like I'm anbo.
I'm just saying, this could have been put to good use.
Yeah, Stephanus, James, Ananias, just know one thing on the show. Okay? There are rules and structures.
No regulations.
Yeah, on the show. You will not come here and just obtusely come and make statements here that is made here by a white German who's sitting here in the studio. It's nonsense. Yeah.
The iron.
Yet my people from the north is still stay loyal. Like Hey Mutumba. Yeah, like Arsenal supporters. Dion Shimsizel, coffee is petty, you guys can do what I want. We can see what you guys have managed to get right. Referring to the body. Neville, if you fix Tura Hospital, we the nation might forgive Oppo. Add fish rod to the mix, fix that too. Yeah. Swapo restaurant section is top notch. The red, blue, and green interior is really outstanding. Wow. LPM, IPC, and the rest of the other political parties can come sit and eat brunch or dinner. This is what Franco Jose says. Mutumba says, Swapo as an executive director, is it a party or company? The building is the only thing Swapo can show for their governance. This is what Mohausi Poli says. Swapo equals cat leather. Huh?
Verstaan nie lekker nie.
Ivan David, verduidelik bietjie. Verduidelik dit tog maar. Ja, verduidelik bietjie. Ja. That's a story that we will obviously watch very closely, because many of us who do drive around in the vicinity of Katatura, that building is right in your face. And it's that contrast that we do talk about that can sometimes be so depressing. If you stop at that robots, you look
Just
left,
that feeling,
you
Just
look
that
left,
feeling.
you see the Swapo head office, you look right, you see Karatura Hospital.
And the road is called Independence Avenue.
It's painful. It's really,
Yeah.
really painful. What do you mean Swapo is catfish, Estomich? It's only corruption when you are not eating. He is quoting Meme Monica Kalondo Kankos. This is what Diom Chim Sizzle says. Yeah, we've heard that one before. Franco Jose says the Swapo headquarters also have a cinema theater, strictly liberation. Moving on swiftly. Yeah, let's start the show afresh with Asser Harun Rambo, who says, "Good morning, Namibia."
Yeah, Asser,
Yeah,
please.
we will not concentrate on previous comments because Asser started the new show. Guys, I was one of our colleagues, what's his name, at Trustco Finance. I'll get to his name now. He made fun of me yesterday because the video of the kudu that basically jumped through the window,
Yeah.
and his leg that got stuck in the car on the Elisenheim Road. He obviously made fun at me being a resident of Elisenheim, saying to me, "Never. So, kudus loop ook daarso in julle se straat. So, Neville, julle is mos in gevaar. You guys are in danger living in Elisenheim." And I asked him, what do you mean we are in danger? You guys have a lot of snakes there. And now you have kudus running all over. That place is dangerous. And I said to him, yeah, Mike. I said to him, Mike, listen, I'd rather have a kudu running across our road. For the first time in the 8 years that I'm living in Elisenheim, I see a kudu running across the road. In the 8 years that I've lived there, I've never seen a snake. I think the last fatal snake incident that happened in Elisenheim was about 2-3 years ago.
Was the ice pint snake?
Yeah, was yeah, but there was this child, I think a 2-year-old child that was bitten in his baby cot.
Yeesh.
Child came into the house.
Oh, yeah.
That's what I read. But if you would compare Elisenheim to other residential areas in terms of safety, let's not even go there. Which brings me to the next story. Crime stalks Rocky Crest. Residents feel unsafe
Oh.
in their homes. A surge in crime in the Rocky Crest residential area of Windhoek has raised concerns that it could soon challenge the enviable title of the city's most unsafe location.
Yep.
And I must say, before I continue with this, Rocky Crest has been,
We've
wow.
known it. We've known it ever
Yeah.
since. And
Is it
what did
dangerous?
they say?
It's very, very. In
Come
terms
and
of
challenge the title.
burglaries there. Over the years, housebreaking burglaries has consistently been the most common crime experienced by households in Rocky Crest area. Chief Kanime said criminals target the area because they can escape easily into the nearby bushes, riverbeds, and mountains. We have also observed that most houses are broken into are those with no supervision. We always inform the public not to leave their houses unsupervised, or at least they can inform us, then we will regularly be on the lookout. Supporting similar sentiments, City Police Superintendent Johannes Mvulas suspects that the new development of houses at Extension 4 could be contributing to the surge. There are now quite a lot of movements in the area, and it is hard to tell if these are construction workers or burglars. Most of these crimes occur in the evening and the early morning hours, he said.
Yes.
I think Rocky Crest, and to a certain extent, the residents of Kleine Cooper also went through that. For
Kommersdal also.
Oh,
Especially the extensions.
Kommersdal.
I think I will start a house sitter business for those locations. I'll start that business.
You start what?
A house sitter business.
House sitter.
Yeah.
It can work.
And just have my Tamara comrades be.
Yeah.
He's up the pass.
He's oppas.
Yeah, but seriously, Neville, like, I don't know what police, like at this point, like the police are also like, die mensen gebruik al die goede om in te set, die alarms is daar. Everything is there, but these guys just find another way every time. They just find another way.
So let's talk about policing a little bit. Do you know in England is famous for having very good policemen.
The bobbies.
The bobbies.
Yeah.
So what the bobbies do is
Yeah.
they physically walk the beat
Yes.
So you have policemen, they usually walk in pairs of 2, and they've got their kiris and their spray, but they physically walk the streets, checking that everything is okay.
Yes.
Making sure that the gates are locked, making
Yes.
sure that the streets are fine. I know at one stage, I think it was the police or city police put these guys into the city centre on bicycles.
On bicycles, yeah.
You know, but that is where I find Namibia's policing is of a very substandard policing on that level. Please understand me that we've got some units in the police, the Namibian police, that are brilliant. They are excellent. I mean, special field force. Then the guys that go out and look at trying to catch murderers and that they are, I mean, we've seen success cases in that. But your basic police beat, your guy that's just gotten into the police, did his, what do you call it, basic training, is now a constable in the police. I don't see them walking the streets. Why not?
Yeah. And it's so true what you say, Kalfi. I remember, at the time when I was staying in England, you would regularly see the bobbies, as you say, either on horseback. And it's so intimidating seeing a police officer on a horse, and immediately you need to get in check. I remember when Elise and I, when we moved in about 7-8 years ago, we regularly have that. We have the security officers galloping with horses.
Yes.
Amongst the homes. You still have your quad bikes every day. Or the cars. And like you say, Kalfi, it would really help if we can have the same system, like you say, where police officers can be dispatched in certain areas that they know are high crime spots, and just have a police presence there constantly.
Let's take Elisenheim. The residents of Elisenheim, I do believe that they are some very good tax-paying residents that are staying in Elisenheim. And they now are kind of forced to bring private security companies in to protect their area. And these are some of the best tax-paying citizens. Let's go into maybe, and I mean this all respectfully, please, the lower ranking in terms of income, tax bracket. Would it be fair to say that people in Rocky Crest are a little lower?
No, it's not fair.
No.
Not really?
No,
Yeah.
they're also in a good bracket.
Okay, so they should be protected by the
They
police.
should be protected, yeah.
The entire Kleine Kuppe should be protected by the police.
Yeah.
So about this neighborhood watch thing, how is it working out for them? Because I know Kleine Kuppe has a neighborhood watch. I don't know if Rocky has, but I know Kommersdal has. But Rocky, I don't really know. I can say.
Do you know who has the best neighborhood watch in Windhoek?
Probably Pioneers Park.
Pioneers Park.
Yeah, Pioneers
Yeah.
Park, because I know.
And in the country, it's Achivarongo. Because now what the private citizens have done, they put the entire living area, the entire Pioneers Park, under CCTV. If you go into Pioneers Park, you are on CCTV, and they've got alarm centers, and they've got some people in the old age homes that are watching all these televisions to see there's
then they report.
what you call it, a certain suspect walking around there, looking over walls and what, and then they respond to it. That should be a function of the police, the city, the country.
Mutumba, and yeah, it's true what you say, but I've always said, before we moved into Elisenheim many years ago, I said to my wife and kids, is I prefer to stay in a gated community, because I never feel safe enough in a loose standing home. We could have stayed in Pioneers Park, we could have stayed in Hochland Park or whatever, but with me traveling so much for business purposes and entertainment, etc., I just don't feel comfortable with my wife and my kids being by themselves at home. Pioneers Park has a great neighborhood watch. Ons slaap rustig, sê Vanessa Koeibeb. Nee, los vir dat en die tunga uit, Estomich. Ja, respect. Ja. Franco Jose says, never call Mike and inquire how he bypassed the law system. There was a white business that owned a business in the CBD. He managed to acquire a policy that was drafted by the old municipality before independence, where he used it to relieve the expenses accumulated during the intense COVID regulations. The bank approved and the bank cut 40%. Namibians must read the old municipality policy relief program when business aren't doing well. Okay, yeah, that is obviously also a discussion that we can have. Yeah, lost mate, Mutumba. Yeah. So in closing on this specific topic, it's like you say, Kaufi, and I think like we all agree, it's important that we need to have better policing to safeguard our communities. I mean, my mother has been staying her whole life in Katatura. Dit word nie daarin gebreek nie.
You won't.
I'd rather stay, if I want to stay safe,
Yeah.
I'll stay in Katatura. Because hulle kom nie daar nie.
Neville,
They
it's a
come from
job for
there.
the guys.
Yeah, it's a
That's-
job.
People should understand that for the guys that do that, they do the same things that you do if you come to Trasco.
Yeah.
They stand up in the morning and they pray to God, Allah, kan ek toch hy skryf wat ten minste a deur oop is. And then these guys come to work in Kleine Cooper and they do their job. And this is one thing about stuff like that is, like Neville says, he never feels safe leaving his wife alone at an ungated community or so. So this guy just came with a gun, probably just has one bullet, just to scare you if something wrong happens. But then he comes into the house and he sees that, oh, everybody's in the house. And Neville obviously wants to protect his family. And that's how he shot Neville.
Are you going to shoot an intruder to kill if you had the opportunity?
Look, Neville, it's not my intention to kill anybody in my life. It's typically. But if it comes to the point where I have to defend my family, I'll have to do it.
Yeah, yeah.
And it happens in that way, and now you have this big problem. And this guy just came to come probably steal a TV to also come and go feed his family. And now you are also here protecting your family. And now this is two men that are doing something for both their families. And it's just, if you put this man in that situation, you'll have to have one go.
Se gat, Mitch.
As well.
Laat hulle gat lig en gaan werk soek. Soos ons almal gedoen het. Hulle wil die maklike way uitvat en goed vat wat nie aan hulle behoort nie. Los jou deur oop en roep jou chommies laat hulle jou leeg dra. Masha li Masha. Skop en donder those Pioneers Park boys. This is what Mutumba says. Mitch, we sleep peacefully in Kommersdal. Wacht net so 'n bietjie. Extension 16, because the whole city of Windhoek stays there. Aha. You see, very selective policing again. And there's 24-hour city police presence. And it's also located in a bushy area. You just gave us the answer what the problem is there, Mohab.
Asabli more.
Okay, you also say the problem is, as black people, we are addicted to quick rich schemes. Our acceptance of bribes are practiced more frequent than our ethical behavior. That's why it seems the work is too much for police. But amongst them are those that are informants to the crime lords.
That's what I wanted to say.
How we spoke about this issue last week when we said you have a situation allegedly in Walfish Bay where the drug lords are paying certain members of the community hush money. Why? Because they know the people are destitute, hungry, unemployed. They need money. Ek sal 'n dief skiet op sy knieë dat hy vir die res van sy lewe nie kan hardloop met gesteelde goed nie. This is what Masha Limasha says. Trini says it's kill or be killed in so far as intruders are concerned. Yeah, my take personally, I would love for somebody to make such a good example out of intruders, burglars, where a guy just sits and wait. Let them come in. And if they are in, da shaya yala. Maar he must not leave one alive. Maar ek weet om Chris sê altyd, and it's very true, and for some of the videos that I've seen in the past, intruders don't come to kill anyone. They come for your stuff. So the moment you shoot one, the fight is out of them. Then they run. Skiet net ene raak. Daar hardloop almal. They will not come and attack
you. Yeah.
No. The moment they see one of their comrades fall, they are completely in disarray. So Oshitenda is the most safest neighborhood. We have all the security officers that work everywhere in Windhoek. We sleep peacefully. It's just a jukebox.
Yeah.
Franco Jose, waar is Oshitenda?
Ek dink dit is agter van Nyland goede. Ek sê maar net, ek ry maar net, maar ek dink dit.
Franco Jose, waar is Oshitenda? Yeah, I know Mutumba, that is what the Namibian law says, but you know.
The time of Sam, we used to have that, if somebody's in your house, isn't it? Yeah. But never, this is also one thing that happened to a lot of my friends. You know the guys that stand here at Punis Park, like the ones wat ons optel, dan gaan maak hulle mos skoon. Guys to go clean your yard or what. So what these guys would usually do is you pick them up and you take them to your house. They clean, and this is just them scouting to tell their friends. And a lot of people don't give these guys a job or work because of stuff like that happening and being reported. But then you have men that really come there honestly to just go do the job and go support their family. And a lot of the times they are making it harder for these honest men to really get the chance to go work.
Okay.
There. So a lot of people are scared to actually give work to these men on the side of the road.
Vedika Yere says, it's interesting how the level of crime in the different towns vary. When I moved to the coast from Windhoek, I was extra cautious about where I live. Closing windows, even how I hold my handbag and whether or not I move with my cell phone. It's amazing how crime can traumatize you, affect your day-to-day behavior. Then I realized I was unnecessarily on high alert while things are better. So yeah, things are better here. Okay, so Oshitenda is behind Ombili. This is what J.H. Marvel says. Whatever happened to the South African guy who was shot in the head by the police? Still alive, Penda? Yeah, he came out of his coma. Okay, but I don't know what is his quality of life at the moment. Maar ek hoop hy het geleer. We've all seen the video. Oshitenda is behind Okuriangava, deep in the Gramadulas. This is what Natangwa says. Apparently somewhere in Van Hera, some time back, intruders broke into the wrong house. The house they broke into had all the thieves that roamed the streets of Windhoek. Talk about the wrong house, wrong timing. Apparently they were dealt with until they asked what the police should be called. So they broke. Mohau, do I understand you correct? Let me read this again. The house they broke into had all the thieves that roamed the streets of Windhoek. So robbers broke into a house
full of robbers.
Hey!
And they were so concerned about their stuff being robbed.
Robber Island.
Hulle moet ophou roof. Hulle moet nie mense roof nie. Imagine that whole conversation.
Robber Island.
Do you know what they used to do in Rocky Crest? It was a story like last year, I think. Yeah, last year. These guys used to rent a house there. These boys, they used to rent a house there. There's nothing else there but just mattresses and what.
And they operate from there.
And they operate from there.
How up, man.
Yep, they used to rent a house there, and the police actually caught up to them. It's like small boys. There was even pictures of them on Facebook or what. I think some of them will remember it. And it's small boys. It's this 20, 17, 18. Those boys are like 4 of the boys. They used to rent a house there and hulle steel net daar en bring net by die huis verkoop.
Yeah.
Yeah, ne?
Yeah.
Vir hulle se dwelm so. Yeah.
So, guys, maybe the last part of the topic of crime, Sheriff Sean.
Yes.
Our sheriff. Say
The
our
sh-
sheriff.
Our sheriff.
Yeah.
The Namibian sheriff of all sheriffs. Yeah. Yeah.
I can whistle. I can
Do
inflate.
you know what you call the good, the bad, and the ugly in Afrikaans? Ek, my vrou, my skoonmaak.
Coffee.
Devil het jy skoon maar probleme.
Yeah. I'm very
niks
lucky. I don't have school my problem.
Neither do I.
What I wanted to say is, Sheriff Sean said, the next time that you see a roadblock that is not supposed to look like a roadblock, don't stop at this roadblock. You're supposed to drive to the nearest service station or police station to ensure your safety. I'm referring to this case of this woman that was hijacked the other night when she came up to a supposed roadblock with men in uniform ordering her out of her car and even took her baby with the baby seat carrier out of the car, and they basically hijacked the car. She thought this was an official roadblock.
Sheesh.
In the middle of the road, late at night, dark, skierlik is hier 'n roadblock. So, my question to you guys is, what would you... It's actually difficult to ask the
difficult,
question.
yeah.
That's exactly it.
What will
It's
you
very,
do?
very difficult.
If you come, you on the Western Bypass, and suddenly you see a roadblock out of nowhere.
Yeah.
Ry jy, jag jy weg, and these guys can shoot you.
Yeah. And that's what we're afraid of.
And that is what you're afraid of. What are you going to do?
Well, I think we need to ask the police experts that.
I think we need to...
Because you're stuffed either way.
you're stuffed either way. If you stop, there if you do, there if you don't.
Can that woman sue the Namibian police?
No, she can't.
No, I don't
Because
think she
where
can.
do these guys get these uniforms from? Where do
They
these guys
steal
get these cars from?
They steal it.
To look like legit policemen. And why is this available?
These guys, and we've seen this in South Africa, that these guys, they go to a signage company and they go and print these stickers
Of the police.
that they can put on their cars, and it makes it look legit. They steal uniforms. I don't know where they steal these uniforms from, but these, like in this case, these are not. They are not police officers. These are criminals. So I don't know where they obtained this from. But it's just.
But why did our city police decide to have criminal cars as police cars? Ons ken die Golf 7's, die Golf 5's as die enkelike ouens is 'n kar. So now we'll believe it, because most of the guys that really do this, what do we call this, ATM theft and everything, they really do drive these cars. Like the Golf 7's.
It's we have obviously different opinions here in terms of this specific scenario. Mutumba says it is a huge problem. Mohau says you drive to the nearest police station and let them follow you there. Please, it is better to drive away. This is what J.H. Marvel says. Estomich says, Mitch, uniforms can be bought online, knockoffs. Okay? Kyk hier, Sean moet nie die mense verkeerd help nie. Drive and get shot. Daai sheriff rook moet pangwes.
Man, los ons die sheriff uit. Leave our sheriff alone, asseblief.
That's what Rose said. South Africa has the blue light criminals who have police cars and uniforms. They commit the crimes with that. This is what Mutumba says. Muhao says he's really exaggerating this crime thing. Too much TV, so far. It's fast money. Sheriff Sean, watch too much 18 Wheels of Justice. Say Franco Jose. Kofi, maybe as a last as we close off the show, and I want you to be very honest with me. It's a personal question that I need to ask you.
Oh.
And you must answer truthfully.
Wow, luister.
Are there any people's names that you would like to put in a clay pot in your life? Wees net eerlik, Kofi. Don't pull punches. Is daar mense that you feel like you want to put their names in a little pot?
There are, look, there are 3 people.
Wow, luister.
There are 3 people, and hulle is almal whiteys, glo my, and they all men. We still have a job card open. There's still an open job card.
They're probably listening to this right now, just feeling like, yo, Kofi's talking about me. And you, Neville, and you?
Maar ek sal nie sakkies kry op hulle dak gooi nie. Ek sal hulle net inlê by die Koffie roadblock.
It's we joke around about it, but it's a good question to ask yourself. Is there anybody in your life that you despise to such a level that I am willing to do something to you? Not go to your house.
Sanity prevails, Neville.
Sanity,
Dankie toch.
yes. Yeah, as much as sanity prevails. But I'm trying to think of people that I have such disdain for in my personal life that if I see you, ek voel ek wil kots. You make my life
bitter.
Misery. I wish you off the face of this earth. Mitch, het jy sulke mense?
Ja, I just
nee, sorry, ek weet.
Ze moeten naar Richelli Neppie ingaan. Niet die pot, niet die klei. Richelli Neppie. Die foto niet Richelli Neppie.
Now, Neville, this caused quite a stir. This caused quite a stir over the weekend, didn't it?
Yeah, it did. Richelli Neppie, Neville, not the pot. The pot takes long.
Richelli. The only name we should put in a clay pot, Biden COVID Agaba.
That's it.
What are you talking about, Franco Jose? If they are real police, they should know they cannot shoot when they face with a deadly threat. In the same vein as citizens should also know what our rights are when in some type of confrontation with police. Well, that is in the ideal world. A year or 2 ago, we had a Zimbabwean taxi driver who saw a roadblock, turned around, and he got shot in the back.
Yep.
And the Zimbabwean family had to come and collect his body and take it back to Harare for burial.
I don't even think that's like the only case we have it. When I was young, I think that side of Steenkamp. One guy was also shot when he drove through. You know,
the thing is this: if you get to a roadblock and you stop in front of that roadblock, make it 20 meters, 30 meters, and you decide, ek draai hier om.
Yeah.
Whether it's the robbers or the police, they're going to shoot.
They're going to shoot.
So,
what are you going to do?
Yeah.
Oh, it's a difficult one, eh? Nee, Stephanus James, ek vra maar net. Kyk, ek sê, I'm really trying to assess if there's anybody that I hate. En ek weet nie, ek kan nog nie sê nie. Yeah, Estamich, but I will try anyway to put your name in a voodoo bowl. That is what I will do. Yeah, Guys, wow, it's a lovely Tuesday. Once again,
The weather is still great.
the weather is together. And yeah, well, I am a woman, and a lot can go with it. I feel sorry for men, though. What is that supposed to mean? What is that supposed to mean?
Let us know.
Yeah, let us know. En ek wil hoor ook hier by Franco Jose with hierdie Biden issue that you're talking about here. What did Biden do? Kofi's name is in my granny's bowl. The Africans are into voodoo, Europeans are into witchcraft, and America into science.
Aha.
Ha!
Neville,
Ek hoor wat jy sê, Franco Jose. Die sheriff het net kak gepraat.
los die sheriff uit asseblief.
Ethel. Ons het nie jou opinie gevra nie. Okay. You only coming into the show.
But Neville, let me understand. What if you go find out one day, probably you just go look into some stuff at your house and you find your pig in a Richelli nappy and it's mevrou wat het daan gesit het. What would you do?
Yeah, but then she's divorced.
And you?
She's divorced. I will
I'm
not.
with him.
Nee, wat? If I don't, you know,
Or your mother probably go finds it probably.
of my sokkie, een van my sokkies is weg. Dis mos wat hulle doen, Calvin, dat jy net weet, as iemand jou sokkie kom steel by jou huis,
Die ene.
net die een sokkie,
Ja.
maar jy weet, hulle het hom iewers gevat.
Okay.
Ja, they go put it into a little bowl like that.
Okay.
Of hulle loop agter jou en hulle tel jou spoor op. There where you put your foot in,
Ja.
nee? And there where the sand basically
Indent.
So imprints
Ja.
it, yeah.
tel hulle daai sand op. Vat hulle jou.
Oh.
Vat hulle daai sand and they go somewhere with it. So, and we had this discussion yesterday about witchcraft, whether it exists or not. And I said, you know what? The reason I believe that witchcraft exists is because I know that there's a God. You can't pray for protection from God in complete isolation if you don't know that God is there to protect you against evil. So God must have an adversary.
But are
Something.
these witches upset?
Yeah.
Do
Yeah,
they want
so-
new brooms?
So Neville, you guys said like if you go find it. So that's the thing. Where do we draw the line of wives taking their pictures of husbands to pastors to pray on, and to win back the love of the husband? So is that witchcraft too? Where do we draw the line of like this is witchcraft and this is not?
Yeah. Good point.
So
Good point.
that's there are wives that take their pictures, the pictures of the
husbands.
husband, or probably the lady that the husband is cheating with, to the pastor, and the pastor prays on it, and all that.
My two prior women took my picture to the divorce lawyer.
It's a hard one.
Yeah. That's why.
Where is the witchcraft in the divorce
I
lawyer
know.
too?
I know.
Ja, we believe in madness. Ek sit en kyk die show met 'n koue draf. I'm body 10:00 in die oggend. Kry jy nie skam nie. Ha? Ja, Thomas Katux, let me put you in a bowl, guys. Franco Jose, so will the tate lose his job because of the clay pot? It remains to be seen. Guys, thank you so much once again for joining us
Yes.
today.
Have a great day.
Have a great
Tomorrow
great
is
day.
Mavutu Dag, Wednesday, Ladies' Night.
Caprivian women will put the G-string on your face while you are sleeping. Yes, I am with that one.
I see we are twinning. Welcome to the team that is winning. Take me back to the jolly had to jolly, pele pele. Those are the days, not Africa, no man, get it. The camisa pipe, we don't know how to dribble. Ena batena, Maradona bono, pele pele. Take me back to the days, that she jolly had to jolly, pele pele. Those are the days, not Africa, no man, get it. The camisa pipe, we don't know how to dribble. Ena batena, Maradona bono, pele pele. Take me back to the days when we used to wear Brentwood and Crockett and Jones. Take me back. Take me back to the days of Adidas Grand Prix, Bullies, when the music was music, and the love was real. Take me back to the days that she only had to jolly, pele pele. Those are the days, not Africa, no man, get it. The camisa pipe, we don't know how to dribble. Ena batena, Maradona bono, pele pele.